Is this going to be a country that I don't recognize in 5 to 10 years if we don't have these two pillars? If we don't, I mean, where are the Democrats going with this? If Mamdani is the face of the Democrats on the East Coast and Katie Porter is the face on the West Coast, I don't know if that's great politically for that party.
It seems the Democratic Party is undergoing a major transformation, with Mamdani's election as New York's mayor symbolizing a shift toward more progressive ideas that many within the party are beginning to embrace. Political commentators suggest this change could redefine the party's direction, while Bill Maher recently shared his thoughts on where the Democrats might have lost their focus and how they could reconnect with a wider audience. Let's dive into the details.
The guy he just brought up, that's who you're all going to have to answer for. So I got to get your answer. This is Mamdani, if you've been not following the news. He won the Democratic primary in New York, so he is certainly likely to be the next mayor. We don't know. I mean, there's a lot of opposition because we've never had someone this radical. Some of the things he says, prisons were obsolete. What purpose do they serve? I could think of a couple. The NYPD is racist, anti-queer, and a major threat to public safety. I think most people think cops are protecting their public safety, even though there's issues and problems with the police department. Do you like capitalism? No. We've never had a guy quite like this. You know, he quotes Marxist, each according to their need. I mean, that's straight up communism. Whether you call it the abolition of private property, you call it housing guarantees, it's preferable to what is going on right now.
Bill Maher had actually sounded the alarm about Mamdani's political rise months before the election, pointing out what he saw as warning signs that most people were quick to overlook. Now, as Mamdani settles into his new role, many are beginning to wonder if Maher's early concerns might end up being right on the mark. This isn't the first time Maher's political instincts have drawn attention either. He has a history of calling out what he believes are risky decisions by the Democratic Party. For instance, he once cautioned the DNC about its approach to certain candidates, urging them to focus on broader voter appeal rather than internal popularity. At the time, many dismissed his comments as exaggerated, but later events made some viewers revisit his predictions with fresh eyes. While Maher doesn't claim to be a political prophet, his ability to sense when the party might be heading for trouble has earned him a...
I mean, just the phrase abolition of private property, not something we usually hear in America.
There's always a villain. There's people, they always try to create a villain, is my point. They always try to create some boogeyman or boogie. No. If it wasn't this one,
quotes.
It was going to be somebody else.
I'm not creating anything. I'm
not defending the policies. There are plenty of things that I disagree with there and that I don't come down on.
You're going to have to answer everything like this. They're going to ask every single Democratic politician.
But the point being, we see this every cycle. I've now been doing this long enough to know that every single cycle, there's some, contrived villain or boogeyman.
Some commentators may have misunderstood Maher's point, which is clear when you look at his reactions, a mix of disbelief and concern. The aim here isn't to exaggerate or portray Mamdani as something he's not. Rather, Maher's observations are drawn from Mamdani's own statements and policy positions. Many of the concerns he raised about the newly elected New York mayor reflect the ideas Mamdani has publicly promoted and the direction of his political agenda. When a politician puts forward proposals that challenge established economic and social norms, it naturally sparks debate and discussion. Maher's commentary serves as a reflection on these shifts, highlighting perspectives that some on the left may not fully acknowledge, and encouraging viewers to consider the potential implications of Mamdani's policies for the broader political landscape.
And if it wasn't this one,
he's not contrived. He's going to be the mayor of New York.
The thing that I find the most appalling, which is that he defends the expression globalize the intifada.
Yes, correct.
Which explicitly means, and I don't want to hear anyone deny this, everything that the crazy far right alleged about Barack Obama, wasn't born in America, right. Islamist, socialist,
right.
anti-Semite, hates America. It's all true about this guy.
Right.
Okay? It is all true about this guy. And the fact that this man is on the verge of becoming the mayor of the second largest Jewish city in the world is very frightening. And I'm actually really disappointed that more Democrats have either, are not coming out and condemning him and saying we're not going to endorse this guy because he is beyond the pale.
Maher made his observations well before the election results were in, noting the signs of Mamdani's growing momentum and the shifts within the Democratic Party. While he accurately anticipated Mamdani's victory, He also highlighted potential challenges that could arise from the party embracing more progressive economic policies. The discussion isn't about dismissing ideas like socialism or capitalism outright, but about examining their practical implications and the balance needed to maintain innovation, jobs, and effective governance. Maher's perspective emphasizes the importance of careful consideration and dialogue as the party navigates these changes, encouraging viewers to think critically about the direction of political leadership and its potential long-term impact.
It seems to me that there are two pillars that this country is founded on. One is democracy, and one is capitalism, free markets. And it seems like one party wants to get rid of one, and the other party wants to get rid of the other. Right? The Republicans are not that, democracy is just not number one on their list. It just isn't. It isn't. It's behind Christianity and a few other things. And the Democrats, I mean, I read these, 74% are for democratic socialism. Only 16% favor capitalism.
Mamdani's rise within the Democratic Party reflects a notable shift in the party's political landscape, with more progressive and left-leaning ideas gaining influence. Observers note that the party's base has changed over time, and new voices advocating for significant economic and social reforms are increasingly prominent. While some longtime party members continue with traditional approaches, others are adapting to these evolving priorities. Mamdani's election can be seen as part of this broader trend, highlighting the ongoing debate within the party about its direction and the balance between different ideological perspectives, which could shape the party's future in important ways.
Is this going to be a country that I don't recognize in 5 to 10 years if we don't have these two pillars? If we don't, I mean, where are the Democrats going with this? If Mamdani is the face of the Democrats on the East Coast and Katie Porter is the face on the West Coast, I don't know if that's great politically for that party.
Some observers express concern about the current direction of the Democratic Party, noting rising influence from more progressive figures on both coasts and the potential impact on the party's overall balance. A healthy democracy benefits when major parties offer competing ideas grounded in practical solutions and constructive debate. Supporters of a strong Democratic Party argue that it can play a crucial role in challenging opposing viewpoints effectively while maintaining core principles such as pragmatism, balance, and respect for democratic institutions. The ongoing shifts within the party have sparked discussion about how it can best position itself to remain a credible and influential force in American politics while navigating evolving priorities and ideological trends.
New York is New York. It's definitely it's the media capital, the financial capital. It is a bellwether like no other city is in this country. So don't tell me that who the mayor of New York is doesn't matter.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second. Do you think, let's say, on the seize the means of production, do you think that the mayor, that one person, if he is a democratic socialist, do you think that he would have the power and influence to be able to, like, usher in socialism?
He definitely has the power and influence to elect J.D. Vance or whoever is the Republican candidate next time.
Maher has suggested that Mamdani's election could influence the outcome of future national elections, highlighting potential challenges for the Democratic Party if it continues to shift toward more progressive economic policies. While it's still early to predict election results, Maher's observations focus on the perspectives of many voters in Middle America, who prioritize economic stability, job opportunities, and incentives for innovation. His commentary emphasizes that any significant policy shift within a major party can have wide-reaching effects on electoral dynamics, underscoring the importance of balancing new ideas with practical governance to appeal to a broad spectrum of voters.
It is a walking commercial for the Republican Party nationally.
I think the Republicans are going to...
When you let the Democrats, socialists, and now they're actually calling themselves socialists, when you let them take over a major American city, this is what you get. The state-run grocery stores, which work so well in Cuba and the Soviet Union and Venezuela, just bad ideas. And again, this ugly streak, streak of anti-Semitism.
Maher previously expressed concerns about the potential consequences of certain candidate selections, and many observers note that some of his warnings appeared prescient in hindsight. Today, he is highlighting similar issues regarding Mamdani's rise, emphasizing how shifts in party strategy and voter alignment could influence future elections. While it remains early to predict outcomes, Maher draws on his understanding of voter behavior and historical trends to suggest that the party should carefully consider the potential electoral impact of its choices. Ignoring these insights, some argue, could have significant implications for upcoming national elections and the overall political balance.
Who's the most popular politician on the left?
AOC? I don't know.
One of, but who's, Bernie is,
yeah.
Bernie is, I mean, he's not a capitalist,
No, he's not. And he's also not president.
But
never would be.
But neither is Mamdani.
No, no, but he will, trust me, he will be featured in the campaign commercials.
But they're going to feature people, they boogeyman everybody.
Yeah, but you don't have to boogeyman him. He does it to himself.
But they'll do it regardless. Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, but
they make anybody into boogeyman.
It has.
I think it was
just have more weight when it's real. I mean, when you can really show.
The guest mentioned several prominent figures, Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, highlighting actions and policies that have drawn public scrutiny. Pelosi has faced criticism over stock trading practices during her tenure as Speaker, raising questions about transparency and ethics. Gavin Newsom's leadership in California has been debated in the context of homelessness, cost of living, and population shifts. Ocasio-Cortez has attracted attention for her outspoken advocacy on progressive issues, which some argue emphasizes rhetoric over practical solutions. These critiques reflect broader discussions about accountability in public office, and Maher's commentary focuses on examining these trends and holding political figures responsible for their decisions.
This must be horrible for a guy like you, who you spent your whole life talking about how government tries to do too much, which it does, and spends too much. And here you have Trump, who is the Republican, who is aggrandizing more power than anybody, as we just talked about. And on the other side, you have the guy running in New York, Mamdani, right? Okay, who's like a straight-up communist. I mean, he is. He talks about, the things that communists say. I mean, he wants free grocery stores, free buses.
I want him to win.
You want him to win?
Yeah. I think every 20 years or so.
Wait.
We need every 20 years or so, we need a conspicuous, confined experiment with socialism so we can crack it up again. Socialist slogan used to be, workers of the world unite, you have nothing to lose but your chains. The new socialist slogan is, trust us, this time it won't be a mess.
Many observers note that some progressive ideas have faced challenges when applied in practice, and discussions around concepts like equity, social justice, and economic reform continue to evolve. Historical examples show that different economic systems come with distinct advantages and limitations, and balancing ideals with practical outcomes is a consistent challenge for policymakers. Maher's commentary emphasizes learning from past political and economic decisions, highlighting how careful consideration of policies can impact both public trust and long-term national prosperity. From previous elections to current trends, his track record underscores the importance of evaluating political strategies thoughtfully, recognizing the potential consequences of ideological extremes, and promoting pragmatic approaches that support economic growth, innovation, and effective governance.